As voted on by you guys for the next Pro Clubs Pro Player build coming to the channel, we're going to be looking at a Paul Pogba CM build where you're mostly going to be using it as a box-to-box midfielder. But before we take a look at this build, let's look at some of the gameplay that we got with this Pogba build. Dang, this is going to Casey. Ooh, dirty already. Pogba. First touch. Bodied.
It is computer.
What? I definitely. I guess it may reset when formation reset.
Ooh. Whoa. No. Please.
Oh.
On this keeper.
Finish it. You just gotta finish it.
Eat it in. Ah! Too much pressure. Oh, nice.
Oh, come on.
See you.
Customize his food. Ooh.
Mbappe. Mbappe.
Not like literally.
Done.
Oh my.
Give me that, give me that, give me that. This build will be perfect for all you attack-minded center mids out there that like to play as a box-to-box. This Pogba build is well-rounded. The only category that we didn't focus on or upgrade is the defending. I felt like the defending's already pretty good, and then for Pogba, it's just best to upgrade the other categories. So looking at the position, height, and weight, I already said we are listed as a center mid. That's just going to be best for this Pogba build. And then the height, I chose 6'4". I believe Pogba is listed at 6'3" in game. So if you want, you can go 6'3". It won't change the attributes at all, but you might as well, for that extra inch, just go 6'4". And then the weight, 152. Anywhere in between 152 and 174 is good for the weight range. It won't change the attributes. 152 is the lowest you can go, and it makes you the most lean looking, the skinniest. And I just felt like that looked best as a Pogba build, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Some of y'all might prefer like going 160 or all the way up to 174, but just make sure you're anywhere in that range. And then he is right-footed. Let's take a look at the perks. These 3 perks are all pretty essential for this Pogba build because of the way I have the skill points allocated on the skill tree. So for the first perk, I went skilled dribbler, and that's because for the dribbling page, our dribbling attribute is only like 80. It's pretty low. So to make up for that, you put skilled dribbler on, which will upgrade the dribbling attribute more, and then give us the permanent flair trait like Pogba has. And then for the next 2 perks, I went for passing perks, precision pass and threaded pass. Pogba has been known for his passing ability, and he's always had high passing attributes. So just to make the passing even better on the skill tree, I went for both of these perks. They'll give you the 5-star weak foot, so you don't have to worry about hitting passes with your 4-star weak foot like Pogba has and what we have on this build. Threaded pass will increase the vision, and precision pass will improve the short pass and long pass. And both of these perks will give you the swerve trait, which I like a lot and think it's a pretty underrated trait. So I would highly suggest trying this build out first with these 3 perks, especially having skilled dribbler. If you wanted to switch 1 or 2 perks out, you could go for the passing perks. Your just passing won't be as good as what I was using with this build. But some other options, if you did want to switch those passing perks out, you could go light passes, distance shooter. The reason I didn't go distance shooter is because we already have really good long shots and shot power on this skill tree, and I just don't think it's necessary. I'd rather have one of these passing perks instead of distance shooter. But I know Pogba has always had very good like shot power and long shots, so distance shooter would fit him nicely. Other than that, maybe physical strength just to upgrade the strength and jumping more. Or if you want, since we didn't go for any defensive upgrades, you could go for a defensive perk just to improve that. Let's now move on over to the skill tree. For players on the new gen version of FIFA, I made this build lengthy. So we have 14 more strength than agility. So we're maxing out the strength. Pogba's always had very high strength on his card. So we have 90 strength on this build, just going straight down to the bull archetype. We'll also get this reactions upgrade. And then on the right, we're just getting some stamina and reactions. The stamina isn't the best for a center mid build, but Pogba has never had crazy good stamina. If you want, you could take off 3 skill points somewhere else on the build and get this +3 stamina to have 91, and that would be a pretty solid option. As I mentioned, there's no upgrades on the defensive page for this Pogba build, but the defense is still solid with the big body type, those long legs, and then looking at these defensive attributes, they're really not too bad as just base defensive attributes for a center mid build. 72 interceptions, 80 defensive awareness, 77 stand tackle, and 76 slide tackle. And if you really want to be better at defense, you could put on a defensive perk. Like I said, if you wanted to take one of those passing perks off. Pogba has 5-star skills, so I made sure to get 5-star skills on this build. If you don't care for the 5-star skills, you could take either one of these off. Does not matter for this build. And then you can use those 5 skill points to upgrade some other categories if you like. But I'm going to put it back to the 5-star skills. And you see that we have 76 agility. And if you're on the new gen version of the game, you're not going to want to upgrade the agility more unless you don't care about being lengthy. But this build is meant to be lengthy. So we have 90 strength, 76 agility, 90 minus 76 is 14. And you need 14 or more agility on the build to be lengthy. So we're perfectly lengthy for this Paul Pogba build. That's kind of what I was going for. So that's why you see I didn't go for the Maestro archetype to upgrade the dribbling and agility more. But remember, we have the skill dribbler perk to make up for only having 80 dribbling. That's actually higher than what you see here. And then on the right, you're going to get everything except for this +3 balance. We'll have 93 ball control. Pogba has always had very high ball control. And then 83 balance is pretty solid for a 6-4 build. On passing, I didn't need to go for a lot of upgrades because we're relying on the 2 passing perks, precision pass and threaded pass. The vision, long pass, and short pass will all be higher than what you see here. But really what I wanted to do was go for some curve upgrades because you can't really upgrade the curve through perks. So you need to upgrade the curve on the skill tree. And I got all the curve possible except for the artist archetype, which will give you +7 curve, which is pretty nice. But it's 10 skill points and we don't need those extra skill points for crossing. So I just went for all 3 of these curve upgrades and that'll get us to 85. There's actually a lot of upgrades on the shooting page. So on the left, I went for the sniper archetype to max out the shot power. Pogba has always had a ton of shot power. And then we'll also get some free kick and penalty upgrades. And then on the right, what you're going to do is get these first 4 long shots and then go down to the finisher archetype. And then in the center here, you'll get these 3 heading icons. So we'll have some heading upgrades. And then in order to upgrade the volleys, because Pogba's always had high volleys, we're going to get all 3 of these second parts. So this +3 volleys, another +3 volleys, and then right here for 4 skill points, we get +4 heading and +4 volleys to get the volleys to 88 and the heading to 86. And then on the top right, I think this was just 1 extra skill point we had to throw on the build. So I decided to put it on finishing. For pace as a box-to-box midfielder, I think it's pretty important. So this build has 81 acceleration and 90 sprint speed. Pogba has always had a pretty big split when it comes to sprint speed and acceleration. He's always had more sprint speed than acceleration. So we have the same on this build with a 9 attribute difference when it comes to sprint speed and acceleration. And this build being lengthy will help a lot if you're on the new gen version of the game because you won't lose your top end speed. You'll maintain that top speed the entire time no matter how far you are running, which will be good as a box-to-box going up and down the field. So let me know what you think of this Pogba build if you give it a try. It's a lot of fun to use. And hit that like button on this video for me. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button on my channel if you haven't already. As always, y'all have a great rest of y'all's day and peace out.